How you doing, my buttery little scones? It's Fifi Quest. Welcome back. I'm real happy to be here. This is Fifi Quest, the only podcast broadcast live from a Civil War era submersible that was made by paddling, and they brought the oxygen down to the depths by sealing packets of air into old tobacco tins, and they would paddle around beneath the waves, and they would put a little bomb on a stick and then stick a ship with it, and then they'd blow it up. That's true, you know. They had a submarine in the Civil War, I believe. Yeah, some guy was like, oh, we're going to sink under. I'm going to blow up ships from underneath, and some dude totally did it. Some old-timey racist Elon Musk just whipped that up. Anyway, speaking of the Civil War, I've reserved a 1,000-page biography on the life of Ulysses S. Grant, and I would love to get it, but the goddamn LAPD library is fucking up. Big time they are. I understand they can't open, because you can't just have the hoi polloi in there pawing everything with their germy little hands. You know, infecting all the literature. Can't have that, but you try to reserve a book, and it's like pulling teeth from the LAPL, LA Public Library these days. I have not been reading any, let me tell you this, I've been hardly reading any books at all during quarantine. I really haven't. I used to be a huge reader, and yeah, I started to read. I have the complete works of Shakespeare by me, 'cause I'm a smarty pants who owns books. Look at me. By the way, I have a bunch of books just in like a closet area, and I want to keep them for decoration because I feel like that's what people do. I would like to stop this tradition because I feel like they're like, oh, you gotta have books in your house. If you saw a home without any books, why, I would just dread it to be the most dreadful thing imaginable. My point being, I don't think I need them, everybody. I don't think I need a bunch of books in my house that I'm not going to read again. I've already read them. I don't see any point in keeping them there other than to be like, look at me, I read books. I'm a smarty pants person who came in this home. Oh, you haven't read that particular book, have you? Oh, pity. Such uninformed members of our republic. How shall this great democracy stand? Yeah, so, anyway, that's what's up with me. Just waiting on my 1,000-page Ulysses S. Grant book. Feel like this, you know what? I feel like, right out of the gate, gotta be honest with you guys, that was a real, I'm not like other girls, flex. Low-key, it was. I didn't say that exact phrase, but that was the spirit of it, and I regret it. 'Cause being like other girls is great, 'cause girls are great. And girl stuff is great. Ugg boots are comfy. Pumpkin spice is delicious. They should just dump a whole canister into a potato gun and then shoot pumpkin spice into my face. I'll do that I'll do that in a sort of dangerous part of Echo Park. That's how unbothered I am by looking uncool. My voice feels weird today. I feel like, you know what, I used to be real diligent about my, voice exercises, doing them every morning, and I've been a little slackadaisical, if you don't mind me saying. That's me turning into a high school football coach. When you're slacking and being lackadaisical, you're being slackadaisical. So don't be slackadaisical out there, team. Get out there and hit those sleds. No one knows what you're talking about, Fief, because they weren't born men and weren't made to do high school football against your will. Well, now you do. Now you're learning things. Anyway. So, I feel good today. I feel really, really good. What I did over the weekend was feel a little down about how I wish my transition was going faster and wish this was doing a little better and all of that. But what I did was I took a photo the day I started hormone treatment, and I took a recent photo when I was out hiking up in Point Magoo. Point Magoo is awesome, by the way. If for those of you listeners who are from California, Point Magoo it's on the west side of like the Malibu area. It's right before like the Ventura County line. And it is the funnest state park. It's huge, it's beautiful, you get views from the ocean, and it's all brown and autumny right now, and you can still look at the ocean, and yeah, it's a reasonable temperature. You know what? It's a reasonable temperature all year. Even in the summer, it's usually a little cooler around there because just the way the weather hits. So, also on the Misha Makwa Trail, which I went on, there's this rock called Balance Rock, where you'll come around a corner on the trail and you'll be like, oh, that giant rock, that's about to fall over. There's no way that rock's just going to sit there, but it totally just sits there, and it's just a giant rock that looks like it's going to fall down off a cliff, but it just doesn't. Balance Rock. So that's where I went, but I took a photo while I was there with a no makeup look, as it were, and yeah. So I on my Instagram at Fifi Dosh, at FIFIDOSCH, took a photo of that and put it right next to my day one on hormones. And, wow, I was really pleasantly surprised, to be honest with you. There is, I want to go a lot further, of course, but, yeah, is estrogen really doing its work? Yes, it is. I looked a lot different. If you want to go to my Instagram, you can see a day one till now, or you can look at episode 1 of Fifi Quest if you wanna. And, yeah, I'm really noticing the difference and feeling very good about it. And, yeah, it made me feel real hopeful, you guys, because if that's like 7 months, and, I've really only been on, I was on a pretty low level of estrogen for a lot of that time, and I'm on a pretty high level now, and I've only been on that level for about 2 months, so, like, you throw another 6 months onto that, I'm very excited about where we're going. Oh, jeez, and, oh, yeah, and my buddy Frankie is a hairdresser, and he's going to give me my first girl haircut on Saturday. So it's going to be fun. It's getting a little unruly here. I'm making it work, I think, but it's just a little, I think we trim this up into something super cute. That would be, that might be just the thing, And hopefully you can do my damn brows, too. Jeez Louise, do I want to get my brows done. I can't even with this shit. Start the zit with the brows. I say too many Italian phrases. It's not okay. I say gabagool. I say stat the zit. I give other Italian people shit like I'm Italian and I'm not. I'm a little white German trans girl from Elvis country. By the way, that reminds me, listeners, I was on Kyle Clark's podcast, This Is Rad, recently, talking about The Sopranos for 4 hours. And that's a wonderful podcast. And I love The Sopranos still so damn much. I'm working on my Sopranos video essay still. I have no idea a release date on that, but that's a creative project I'm excited about right now. And check out This Is Rad. We had a great time in the episode. It's all about him. He just finds someone who's a big fan of something, and they just dissect it and kind of talk about what fans they are stuff for a while, for like 4 hours. I think it's great. Super positive. I like that. So we talked about The Sopranos. Also, I was watching, there's a Sopranos rewatch podcast called Talking Sopranos with Michael Imperioli and Steven Sciarippa. And I tell you what, Steven Sciarippa is a little bit of a fucking shut your own, I have to say, with the yapping. But, Michael Imperioli, who played Christopher. And by the way, if you haven't seen The Sopranos, what's the matter with you? What are you, an asshole or something? Did you not have time to watch TV in 2020? Ugh. Everything else stinks compared to The Sopranos. That's what I said. I don't take it back. I'll say that on Vince Gilligan's birthday, while I just mash a fist into his birthday cake. And what's he gonna do? Be like, oh yeah, well, I know. But, I brought that up just because Michael Imperioli, who plays Christopher, he has this gray kind of English professor beard. Or no, excuse me, it's really more of like a... It's more of like a Che Guevara, like a gray, cute Che Guevara beard, and like a... It's like distinguished but lean, like... God, I don't even know how to say it. It's not a professor beard. It's like a... Imagine a young, hot art student combined with like an old literary daddy and like a punk scarf kind of thing, and I am here for it. Oh, I went full Adriana watching him just dissect themes of import in his filmic work. Yeah. Anyway, gosh. Oh, well, I guess, you know what, enough dancing around all this nonsense, and let's get to the thing I really wanted to talk about, but feeling a little wary about bringing up being vulnerable with. I'm thinking about getting an OnlyFans, if you know what I mean. I mean, maybe not right now. Maybe I wait another 6 months to a year, but I was doing some late night Googling, no good can come out of that, the late night Googling. You're either gonna start looking at the OnlyFans terms of service, or you're gonna watch like racist World War II propaganda cartoons from the Looney Tunes era. Like, I don't know, was that just me? That was the thing I used to do when I was drunk, was watch the Bugs Bunny versus the Japanese cartoons. I don't know. 4 years, 9 months sober. What can I tell you? But, yeah. I am, 'cause maybe not, what I would serve on one of those things is not for everybody, maybe, but, I think I'd have a very enthusiastic clientele. Uh, it's like D&D, you know? Not everyone's into it, but the people who are into it are very into it. I don't know. Honestly, I started looking at like feet websites because I've got larger feet than say the average girl, and I'm thinking some people might be into that, and they might be willing to pay me some money, and I might have a lot of fun doing something like that. So I don't know. Tell you what, if anyone out there, if there are any girls out there with an OnlyFans or something like that, um, send me an email at fifiquestpodcast@gmail.com because I am real curious. A lot of my girlfriends are thinking about this too. I mean, they shut down live performing. I mean, you can only do so many Zoom comedy shows before you could make some money in front of this camera, you know what I mean? But I have been thinking of that because I talked a couple episodes ago about being a sexual anorexic and, how it's not clear why I was tamping down something big. By the way, if you didn't hear that episode, I discuss about having sexual anorexia. It's a real thing. It's if you watch the show Succession, they don't say this, but it's what Roman has. It doesn't manifest like that with everybody, but you know how he can't have sex, but it's kind of all he talks about and thinks about. That's a symptom of it, and now that I'm in my right body, and getting more and more inside matching the outside every day, I am very curious about exploring my sexuality, and part of me thinks that it might be really, really good for me to do something like that. I think it might be a lot of fun too. Because when I lived as a man, a straight or gay man, it was like I didn't have a sexuality at all. And I've talked about this a little bit, how it's not, it was like my sexuality was like something that hovered around me, but like I was straining so hard to keep it a part of myself. Now I realize it's not a weird taboo thing, and it's not even it's not like a tool I take out of the box when it's time to use. It's like it's part of me. It's a part of my soul. It's a part of my being. And I have a real problem just being like I have a sexuality, so to speak. But when and I don't mean I'm out there hoeing it up. I just mean being aware and acting as if I'm a sexual being at all times, which I am. We all are, And when I do that, my day feels a lot more fun. I feel a lot more confident. I feel a lot more a part of the world. I feel the world a lot more. I mean, I'm having a great time doing this podcast right now because I feel like I'm in that zone right now. So part of me thinks it might be very therapeutic to maybe one day get an OnlyFans and do some dirtier stuff online, or maybe do something with my feet. I don't know. I mean, why not, right? Tell you what, I don't, I feel a little silly, but I might show you guys a picture of my feet if any of you guys, if you guys have any experience in foot modeling or anything like that. Um, yeah. Audio listeners, sorry, I'm showing my feet up to the camera right now. Stupid microphone. Yeah, I don't know. They are, by the way, oh, that felt silly. I'm glad I did it though. I don't know. I kind of feel like there might be a market out there for, say, a girl with some man-sized feet doing some stuff. You know? I don't know. Why not? I remember when I got into one of my money-based 12 steps, whose name I shan't mention, because we're not supposed to. I hear you, Bill W. Go ride your motorcycle off into heaven, you beautiful acid-taking cool dude weirdo from Ohio. But, I remember saying, like, originally when I got into that program, and I was all fucked up about a number of things, still living as a man, I was like, people were like, describe possible dream jobs, and I remember writing down, I would love to do a job that involves my sexuality a lot more, like, I don't know, not this exactly, but like maybe work like, when I say using my sexuality, I don't mean turning tricks, I mean like being a server at a Hooters, that sort of thing, you know, whatever. I mean, millennials, Zoomers don't go to Hooters, as we all know. I mean, they wouldn't even know to find the place. Zoomers don't go to Times Square or Hollywood Boulevard or such places, you know. They don't even know where they are. They can't even, I mean, I don't even know what kids would. No, that's not true, because all Zoomers go to Hollywood High on Hollywood Island, which is an insane goddamn place for children to be educated. You just go to school and go to the prom and get crushes on boys and do meth, and then you're walking out for fifth period and you get attacked by a meth head in a Squidward costume. It's not right. But yeah, I thought about would it be great to at the time I said wouldn't it be great to earn money doing something that uses my sexuality a little more, and wouldn't that be a fun and beautiful thing? So I don't know, there's stuff like that out there. I'm sure there's maybe, I don't know, like a trans cafe, there ought to be trans Hooters. People would go to that. They're like, oh, how do we get the millennials in? There you go. Millennials wouldn't go to trans Hooters. They would just tweet about it like they would and then never go. And then just stay at home, you know, wanting to watch Billy Madison, but not loving themselves enough to. Anyway. But yeah, I kind of felt something the other night, like I felt, like I turned, like my body, it's like my body changed just enough lately for the part of my soul that is my sexuality to fit in it properly, because I really feel really different and better and more adult and more powerful, and I like it. That's why I'm wearing my low-cut maxi dress today. I love it. I love a slutty maxi dress because it's like you get to be diaphanous and a hoe. The diaphanous hose of the Parthenon. So yeah, I've been thinking about that lately. I was talking about this exact thing with my friend the other night when we went over and made dinner, and she's on the same page, and her boyfriend did not want to hear it. But yeah, I guess suffice all this to say, that's not a correct grammar, but I'm feeling way better about my body lately. I'm feeling way more comfortable being myself. I'm feeling a lot more pretty lately. I'm feeling really cute, really sexy, like it's a good thing. You know? I kind of think that's the only way to be in life. Anything I'm nervous about being like, oh, if I'm sexual, will people laugh at me or think I'm gross or say that? But you know what? Like, I say if you're in for a penny, you're in for a pound, because if I'm like dressing like this and being reluctant about being really girly and feminine and sexy and giggly, I mean, it's like you're just jump all the way off the diving board. Like, don't tiptoe off it or you're going to trip and bang your head and hurt yourself, you know? That's what I think. I also think, as I've said many times, I think the more I believe that I am good and I belong in life, the more that's what I get back. So, I like the red nails today, too. Can't go wrong with red. You know. Red says, hey, I'm not an emo dude. I'm not goth. I'm a girly girl who's DTF. Anyway, so I think that's just about an episode of Fifi Quest. Thanks for letting me get vulnerable in this one. And, you know, I think some of the way my changes in feeling lately have been because I've talked about standing up for myself and having to, lately. I think that has a great deal to do with it. So, hopefully by next week I'll have my first girl haircut. So we'll have that to report on. And, yeah, you know, guys, I will just say, too, I am curious as to what I need to do to get this podcast to reach more people. I think I'm gonna, they say get a logo that's really clear. This is what this is. Because I like my logo. I think it's cute. But I think also if you didn't know what it was, you'd be like, well, that's interesting. Do I really know what it is? I feel like I can get something in an image that's really like, this is what the show is now, and you want it, so click on it, turkey. So that's my plan too. And you know what, like me learning and like growing in how I deal with business stuff, that's another thing I want to explore in this show too. So I'm gonna share that with you guys as well. And because that's what it's all about. It's just all every week, me and every way in my life, how I'm growing, and hopefully it is valuable to you guys. So, because it's sure valuable to me. Can't tell you how much this just centers me. This helps me realize like who I am and what I want. Helps me realize it's safe to be vulnerable with the world. And you guys do me a great favor by being part of this podcast and listening. Means a lot to me. As always, if you want to email me at fifiquestpodcast@gmail.com, I would appreciate it. And you know what? If you're fans of the show, I would appreciate if you could either write a review on Apple or, you know, spread the YouTube links around. I'm trying to get it popping on YouTube because I think the visual component is fun. That's half the fun. So, I'm changing, I think. And, yeah, if you want to support the show and keep seeing more of it, I would appreciate it if you could do that. And I love you guys for listening. And, that's it from me.